Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. FailureToReport here, and today marks the beginning of my crusade. Today marks the beginning of a long, long journey towards the Imperial Cutter. So, more than anything, I needed a break after grinding the Clipper because I did it fucking non-stop. And it was rough. So I took a break from hardcore playing Elite, partly because Star Citizen 3.0 was around the corner. I didn't want to burn myself out on Space Sims in general, and I was worried if I was going hard on Elite, then when 3.0 dropped, I would be like, whatever. And 3.0 came out for Star Citizen. It was an utter disappointment for me. So, naturally, I'm flocking back over to Elite. And that means I've had a good long break, right? So, I'm ready to start pushing this Empire rank back up. I think I'm 3 ranks short of the Imperial Cutter. So, that's where we're going with this. Today probably won't be a super long one. However, this is going to be my focus in streaming for the next couple days, is grinding that rank, baby. Working towards my cutter. Yeah, Definos 3.0 is just so fucking disappointing on so many levels. And everybody's like, oh, well, it's not released yet. It's not released yet. It's PTU. And, like, I understand that, like, they've gutted shit out of the PTU client versus what they're planning to release for live, but I'll be really surprised if 3.0 isn't just a fucking mess when it goes live. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I've tried so hard to defend that fucking company, first of all. Like, I've spent fucking years defending CIG and Star Citizen, and, you know, blocking off fucking criticisms left and right, and I'm just done. If people want to do it, go for it. If people want to fucking throw away money on Star Citizen, go for it. You know, it's their money. I don't really give a fuck. But, I'm definitely not gonna defend the game anymore, for sure. I'm definitely not gonna fucking back it. And I'm definitely not gonna pretend that, like, everything is okay, because it's not. And the thing that, like, really chaps my ass, right, is how many people are, like, totally okay with, like, the land claim sale and stuff, and they're like, oh, this isn't anything like Electronic Arts, this is completely different. And you can fucking bet your ass those same people were just fucking going apeshit on Electronic Arts over fucking loot crates being pay to win, right? Which they were absolutely pay to win, but I'm not saying that the loot crates weren't. But the fact that people don't see any parallel between CIG sales and Electronic Arts doing pay-to-win loot boxes, I'm like, are you for real right now? Bug in. I don't even know. I feel like I'm really interested to see what happens with Star Citizen. Like, I want to just walk away from it and not pay attention to it at all anymore. But at the same time, I really want to watch what's happening with Star Citizen, because I feel like CIG is, like, getting desperate in terms of, like, what can we monetize? How can we make money? And there's got to be a reason for that, right? Like, that's not just something that out of nowhere happens. So, I don't know, man. Yeah, I feel like the land sale is more more desperation than cynical exploitation. If I had to guess, right? I guess we'll see.
Lakon Foxtrot Alpha India. Please comply with all Imperial dictates while docking.
I mean, it's their worst funding year so far in the life of Star Citizen. They're at their largest in terms of employees. They still have yet to deliver any fucking product, so I don't know, man. It feels a lot like desperation to me. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where time will tell, right? Like, who knows? But I don't know. I don't know. I have my suspicions, and you know, we'll see what happens in the following months. I mean, if they don't have, oh, man, I really want to say, like, if they don't have a functioning game to show off in terms of Squadron 42 at the
permission granted. We have prepared for your arrival on pad 1-1.
I want to say if they don't have a functional game to show off of Squadron 42 come the holiday stream, then that's a huge indicator. But the thing is, CIG will absolutely, like, fake the funk, right? And make it look like whatever they do present is in, like, working gameplay order. Just like, you know, they have with 3.0 for the last fucking year and how long now. I mean, like, so many people are defending, like, how incredible 3.0 is, right? But then you look back at, like, 2016 Gamescom, right? They were showing that the same shit that we have in 3.0 now. So, like, what's been going on for a fucking year? Like, it took them a year to what? Because 3.0 build that we have is damn sure not polished, so it's not like they polished it over that year. They didn't optimize it over the year. So, what's going on?
For the safety of residents and guests using this facility, we continuously remind pilots to stay.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. That's what 3.0 was for me. Like, after
Docking complete. Please shut down
7 hours of crashing and having other issues,
Bureau,
when I finally was able to land on a planet, I was like, alright, well, that's 3.0. I'm good. I'm done now. Yeah, maybe that was it. Sandworm subsumption. Maybe that's what they were working on. It's just crazy to me. Like, what were you guys doing with a year? What did you do that whole fucking year? Because it doesn't reflect in the build at all.
For their observance of safe operating speed in and around the facility.
But, you know, everybody's busy going, oh, 3.0 is incredible. And I'm like, how? Why? Like, how low are you guys setting the bar for this game that you think 3.0 is incredible? God.
Pilots are respectfully reminded to refrain from exiting the facility without
Like, that's,
authorization.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, right? Like, fuck, man, where's the Vandal Blade? Where's everything? Fuck. They're so far behind. Like, I'm good, dude. I don't feel like waiting another 5 years for them to have, like, the basics of a game fleshed out. And, you know, in typical CIG fashion, in those 5 years, it's gonna be a buggy, unoptimized mess even then.
With sadness, we must inform pilots this facility maintains an effective security division, which is mandated to respond to unacceptable.
I have no faith.
Uncoupling sequence complete. Be careful to observe restrictions when leaving.
Much less whether or not it's like a fun, enjoyable game, right? Like that completely aside. Like, I don't even have faith in them being able to finish a game at this point. Like, you had an extra year in 3.0 from what we saw at Gamescom. Like, what are you offering? Fuck. It's just, I don't know. it going? I mean, I have an i7 Definos, and it still runs like shit for me. I don't think I hard crash in 3.0's build, but it still runs like absolute dog shit.
You have cleared the station perimeter. Please take care of your job.
And everybody's like, oh, well, you should try the offline build. And I'm like, well, isn't that kind of like completely negating like the premise of Star Citizen's PU? If I, in order to have it run at like a mildly functional level, I have to fucking drop it down to single player. Hey K-Dub, how's it going? Just working towards my cutter. Ever so slowly. Although it won't be super crazy today. Probably only got like 4 hours to stream before I've got to get kids, but you know. We'll start getting some of it up. I should at least push up into the rank after Viscount, so that's good. Yeah, Lars, I am going for the cutter. I don't mind. It's no big deal. Plus, it's a million times more entertaining when you're like doing these long grind pads or grind sessions. When you know, like with streaming, I get people to keep me company, so it helps pass the time and like the monotony of grinding. So it's not that bad. But I want the fucking cutter. I took a little bit of a break after I got the Clipper, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to worry about faction stuff. I'm just going to do what's fun. I'm going to do some land missions and some cargo hauling, a little bit of passenger here and there. And now I'm like, okay, I want the cutter. It's time. So my focus in Elite right now is get the Imperial Cutter. And then spend the next fucking year trying to afford to outfit it properly. I mean, usually, so like if I'm not streaming and I'm doing like rep grinds or anything like that, usually the go-to for me is I just pop Netflix up on the other screen, and you know, it passes the time pretty well. Kate, I'm so glad they did the land sale. Honestly, I think it's great because it's going to fucking give memes for days. Like, thank you so much, CIG. And the timing was perfect too, because they literally did it like right after the whole EA loot box fallout, when like the gaming industry is like, for at least the gaming players, not so much the industry, is like super ravenous right now about like shitty company policies, and they're like, hey, let's sell land for, you know, a mechanic that's not implemented for planets that aren't implemented. Great idea. Best idea ever. And they were like, ship it. Boom. $50 or $100. Go. It's so fucking priceless. Oh, man. I really probably shouldn't be using keel back for this. I kind of forgot my courier Now that I think of it, I need to go ahead and transfer that back over to Bonari. And you know, like, that's one of the things, Stephanos, like, Star Citizen is pay to win, right? Like, that was something that was very obvious even when I backed it back in 2013, right? Like, it's really not hard to learn KW, no. But like, I'll jump back over to Elite here in a second. Like, everybody knew that Star Citizen was pay to win, and I think like that was one of the things that like you knew when you were backing the game. And I hate that like in recent years, Star Citizen backers are starting to tell people from like the outside who are like looking at maybe pledging and buying into the game, whatever. And they're like, oh no, it's not pay to win, and they're gonna get rid of, you know, all the pay to win when the game goes live. And it's like, dude, come on, do you really believe that? Do you really think that CIG is gonna be like, hey, we don't want your money anymore, we're good now? Like, that's delusional. They're never gonna get rid of the pay to win. And if they did, at that point, it's almost shittier. Like, how are you going to allow people to amass just so much by putting money into Star Citizen, and then when you go to live, nobody else can do that? Like, it's like, oh, hey, well, you're fucked. I mean, you know, if it was going to happen, but it's not. They're never going to get rid of it. But yeah, KW, in terms of, like, Elite being difficult to learn, it's really not. There's a lot of, like, little things in terms of like your interface and like little tricks that help a lot with getting used to the game and I guess being successful. But for the most part, no, it's not hard to learn, especially if you played Star Citizen at all. I think the hardest part for me transitioning to Elite is getting used to their flight model, because it's kind of like a hybrid between like airplane flight sims and Star Citizen flight sim. It's not quite one or the other. It's like somewhere in a gray area, I would say. Unless you do the close quarters combat arena modes or whatever, then in that case, like, the flight model is like ramped up really, really hard. Not hard, like in terms of like difficulty, but like everything is very twitchy. It feels a lot more like Star Citizen. In terms of like maneuverability and everything else. It's really interesting. I'll have to do it sometime to kind of show that off a little bit, because it looks really fucking cool, especially if you have like an organized team, because it's essentially like two teams going at each other in kind of like a dogfighting contest or whatever. It's really fucking cool to watch. Nice. Does he still do the ones where like if you pledge like a certain amount, you get to go have lunch with him? Because I would almost like pledge up for that lunch just so I can be like, what the fuck, Chris? What the fucking fuck, man? Alright, that's a little excessive, actually. I wouldn't... Telling Chris Roberts he's a moron isn't worth $10,000, but still, like, I would love to do that. That's probably in, like, the $100,000 pledge tier, right? You gotta really be a whale to get Chris's attention now. I completely agree, Gary. You know, like, honestly, I'm trying to think of how I want to say this. If you were a company and you were making stupid fucking money without having to fucking actually ship your product, would you stop doing that? Or would you just keep making your product and always going, oh, hey, we're making it better, and, you know, for as long as you have customers willing to say, hey, they're making it better and giving you more money, would you ever bother shipping a product? Like, I wouldn't. That's perfect. It's genius. I mean, you would have to be an idiot. They can take fucking 20 years to get this fucking game done, right? Because they've eliminated any kind of actual release timeline out of their terms of service, so they're not obligated to ship it at any point. Yes. Yes.
Ignition. Takeoff.
So they're not obligated to ship it in any kind of like actual timeline outside of like what their backers will tolerate, right? Like how much they can get away with in terms of that, right? So I mean, absolutely, I think it's just them milking it, right? They have no incentive to actually deliver a product, because as soon as they deliver a product, one, the money's not going to come in like it has been, and two, they're going to have to be held like accountable for what they deliver in terms of like quality, gameplay, fun, all that shit, right? Right now, they're literally in a blanket excuse, right? Like everything, any criticisms you throw at Star Citizen, they go, oh well, it's alpha, and if you're like, oh well, other games haven't been in alpha like this, blah 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 blah, blah whatever, then they go, oh well, nothing like this has ever been done before. So they're literally in a perfect position to just fucking get out the bulldozer and shovel all that fucking money into Chris Roberts' fucking account, and they have no obligations to the people that they're fucking making, you know, the money off of. I mean, you know, they have to make a product, but they have literally forever to do it, because the community has already shown that they expect nothing of CIG. CIG could fucking do whatever the fuck it wants, and the community will defend it. And, you know, they have no legal timeline either, because they've fucking removed it out of their terms of service. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, K-Dub. I think fucking Chris Roberts is just terrible at managing. You can look at his time at Digital Anvil. You can look at how Freelancer turned out. And you can look at, I mean, even before like I started getting people talking to me, right? Like I've had a couple people who are ex-employees of Roberts, and you know, they talk about how he micromanages everything, how he cannot fucking make up his mind on anything. He always fucking changes his mind on how he wants something to be done, so they have to redo work, just all sorts of stuff. I've had multiple people tell me that stuff. But even before then, right, as just a subscriber to CIG on the RSI website, you know, you get those what do you call it? Fuck. Not jump points. Or is it the jump points? The vault shit, where they show you like concept progress, right? And every single fucking concept they go through, you have fucking this dude being like, oh hey, here's my concept, and some middle dude's like, okay, I'm gonna go show it to Chris, and then fucking it comes back and the guy's like, oh hey, Chris looked at it, he wants, what about this and what about that, and then the guy will do it, and then he'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go show it to Chris, and then it comes back again, and then he'll be like, oh, Chris wants you to like change the color of this, or fucking change the fucking way the windshield looks, or something fucking stupid, and then fucking bounce it back up to Chris, and then it comes, so like the dude fucking hardcore micromanages everything, changes his mind on shit, fucking just is, he's a terrible fucking manager. And I think absolutely he's surrounded by yes men, right? Because I imagine that anybody who argues with Chris doesn't last long at CIG, so of course he's surrounded by yes men. So you have a chronic mismanager surrounded by people who are enabling him, with a community of backers who enable the company. It's just a fucking nightmare. Yeah, absolutely, K-Dub. Like, he gets bounced out of Freelancer, he gets bounced out of the fucking movie industry, like... Chris is just a nightmare. He's a walking fucking nightmare to any project that he's on. And that's, you know, that's always going to be Star Citizen's problem is Chris Roberts, and Chris Roberts isn't going away anytime soon because there's no publisher to kick him off. So, you know, it's gonna be a bumpy
Unable
ride.
to comply.
Yeah, it was definitely the acting in the Wing Commander movie was rough. Oh shit! I don't know why I ever bought that. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I totally own that movie, and I tried watching it like a year ago, and my girlfriend was like, "What the fuck are you watching?" I was like, "Wing Commander," and she's like, "This looks fucking terrible." I was like, "Well, it's, you know, it's, I'm watching it because it's from the same guy who's making that game that I'm like super into." She's like, "God, I hope he does a better job making video games than movies." And I was like, "Fuck you." Shh. Oh man, fucking Wing Commander. Yeah, she's fucking priceless, man. She's priceless. And it sucks too, though, because like she's a gamer also, like a legit gamer, and so like she calls me out on this shit all the time. Like she was talking shit about me like back in Star Citizen, like when we first started dating. So then when I was like, all right, I'm fucking done, I give up. You know, she's all like, oh, I'm sorry, your game's dead. I'm like, fuck you. Like she gave me no ends of shit for essentially being right. I'm like, fine, alright, you win this one. Yeah, she has no chill and like fucking just wrecking my fucking feelings. It was rough. I was like, you know, I was trying to cope and like recover from like having like this 5-year long, you know, nurturing this baby of Star Citizen, and she's like just shitting all over me. It was hard to cope and deal, but you know, I like to think that her encouragement got me through it. It's cool. I learned a valuable lesson in terms of backing projects that sound way too ambitious. So we're good. I swear to God, like the one time I want to get interdicted, I can't fucking for the life of me get interdicted. I really want to like let the AI go nuts and the keel back and fly around in the fighter. But now none of the fucking pirates want to interdict me. I just realized the surface of this moon is like not entirely spherical. Like it's like smashed in. That's funny. It's pretty cool. Yeah, like this is like flat. sorta. That's really badass. Like, my hat's off to Frontier Dev. Like, I know that, like, Elite isn't for everybody, but they did a really good job with, like, making a core product before, like, trying to expand it. And honestly, like, a lot of the stuff that they're talking about expanding it looks really fucking interesting and cool. Yeah, yeah. Legit, Lars. It's like a space potato. I think like one of the coolest things, even though it was not so cool for me when it happened, was like how well they do with having like different gravities on different moons. So if you're in like a really big ship with a high mass and you didn't pay attention to what the gravity of a particular moon is or planet when you're landing on it, I went down for a landing in a Clipper, right? And I was like maybe, oh god, I want to say I was like at 30, which is pretty standard for like everything else that I fly. But the Clipper's a little bit bigger. This it's just a keelback. So I go down and I'm like, okay, no problem. I get like, I don't know, maybe 2,000 kilometers up in altitude, and I'm like, okay, level off. So I level off, and I see that like my altitude is just still plummeting. And I'm like, wait, what? And I look down and like I look away from the instruments, and I see that like the planet is getting very big and very fast, and I'm like, oh shit. So I like try to go full vertical, hit the fucking burners and everything, and my altitude is still just sinking. I'm like, oh motherfuck, no, I'm gonna burn this thing in. And sure as shit, I literally like wasn't able to fucking pull out of it, and the gravity of the fucking planet just boop sucked me right down into the ground and blew me up. And I was like, fuck, god damn it. So now anytime I fly the Clipper, I'm like super careful to like fly it essentially like a Boeing 747, and like the most I'll descend down at is usually like 15-20, unless I know like I've been to that moon or planet before and I know like, okay, the gravity here is not too bad. I'm a little scared to transition over to like the Anaconda or the Cutter and use it for anything like on actual planets, like in terms of planetary landing missions. I don't know if I have the balls to do it, because I can only imagine how they handle. That shit would be rough. Even though this thing's just a giant, like, brick, I fucking love the keelback. It's so cool. Dear Red Rose Exile, please hurry up and interdict me. I'm ready. My body is ready. My ship is ready. Let's do this. The other thing I hate is I've had it a couple times where I get jumped while I'm like in atmosphere, and you're obviously like a lot less maneuverable, and you know you have to worry about depending on which ship you're flying, you have to worry about like how you're maneuvering because you might end up like flying into the fucking ground. But when you get jumped by pirates who are like hunting your cargo or whatever in atmosphere, it's like, oh fuck, no, why here? Why now? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm gonna check that out. That's something I never thought of actually. Oh. Ugh, fuck, it's a python. Not wanted here, right? Okay. Go ahead and let that guy fly by first before we start any trouble. Shit, that's not that pirate, is it? Okay. No, we're good. I just thought of that as it was scanning. I was like, oh shit, what if that's the pirate? Because if it's a python, I need to GTFO. You go ahead and fly on out of here, Jakara. I don't need your shit. So this is one of the things that like really bugs me about Elite in terms of like their planetary missions, and it's why like I'm trying to watch for that python to leave. So like if I target this sentry, I don't know if you can really see it. Might be able to see it better. So on my HUD, underneath like sentry skimmer, it says wanted, and when I kill the skimmer, you'll also see that I get a bounty reward for killing it. But I also become wanted for killing it. And it's like, come on, like, why would I be wanted for killing a pirate? Or somebody that's wanted, and I get a bounty for it? Like, come on. There was a turret over here. Oh, I guess that. Fucking boogie. Ah! I don't know how I ever got a driver's license. They reward you for doing it in every other scenario though, Gary, right? Like if you're out, what do you call it? Oh shit. Like if you're out at like the resource areas, right? And you like blow up somebody who's wanted, right? You get a bounty. You get a bounty for like killing them also. I don't know. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just a little bit annoying. I think the only time it really bugged me was oh shit. The only time it like really irritated me was the first time it happened, right? Because I didn't expect anything. Like I went up to it, the outpost, and I scanned it, and I was like, okay, we're good. These guys are pirates, I can blow them up. So I blew them up, and you know, just like earlier where like that Python was cruising overhead, there was another cop flying overhead, and I got wanted. He targeted me, came after me, and I was like, oh shit, the pirates have air support, so I shot at it. But I was shooting at a cop, and that really got me wanted. And that like totally fucked me. Because like some wanted levels will like go away, right? Let's see. I'm trying to think of. Oh, here we go. So like some of these will go away after a little while or whatever, and it's no big deal. And then like some of them, like you really fuck up, and they don't forget, and you can't even like pay them off and shit. So you're like, oh fuck, I'm screwed. Good morning, Crazy. How's it going, man? So that was the only time that like the whole become wanted for shooting something really fucked me up. So outside of that, it's just like a minor annoyance for me now, because now I know how to do it. Like, if there is a ship overhead, I'll wait until it goes away. If there's a ship landed there waiting, I send my ship away and I just do my best to outrun it once it goes into aggro mode. Little shit like that. And that's kind of like one of the things I was talking about, K-Dub, where like Elite isn't necessarily hard. There's just a lot of like little intricacies that like you either pick up through trial and error, or if you find a good mentor, which I don't remember if you're in our Discord or not, K-Dub, but we have a couple people in the Failure to Report Discord that are really knowledgeable about Elite. And like anytime I'm not sure how something works, or if I have a question about how to do something, to make sure that like I'm doing it the right way and the best way, I'll just ask them, and they're usually like, oh hey, yeah, this, that, and the other thing. Nice. That's awesome, Lars. And like, I'm not even worried about him reworking it. Like, it's not that bad for me right now, right? Especially like, you know, after playing Star Citizen, where like the crime stat system makes fuck all kinds of sense and is just fucking insane. So I mean, I don't even mind Elite's crime system right now. Like, this isn't even bad after playing Star Citizen. I'm really excited to see what happens in 2018 for Elite. I think Frontier's going to do a lot of really cool shit. %.
60%.
So the trading is all like AI based, right? Like with NPCs, there's no like trading with other players, unfortunately, which I think is like really kind of a bummer. But like there's cargo hauling between stations. You can trade goods instead of just cargo. Everything up to like transporting slaves. You can buy a bunch of commodities from one market and fly them out to another market where they're going at a higher value. There's passenger liners, transport stuff. There's a lot of different stuff. No, Crazy. I'm honestly done with Star Citizen. I'm out. Like, I thought a lot about it before I was like, you know, fuck this, I'm burning the bridge, I'm done. And I just have no desire to play Star Citizen. Yeah, absolutely, man, my bad. Crank that down a little bit. Let's see here. I forgot I had the in-game turned up so much because Spidey was in Discord and it kind of gets lumped in there, unfortunately. I really need to set it up to where I have different audio tracks. Oh, that's true, Hopeless. Actually, yeah, that's true. You can abandon cargo for another player to pick up. So in that terms, yeah, you can trade cargo at least. And good morning to you, Hopeless. How you doing? Are you still running the Corvette, Hopeless? I'm really I'm struggling with my personal demons, right? Like I love the way the Cutter looks. I love the way basically all the Imperial ships look. But a part of me feels like I'm really fucking up by not spending the time working towards the Corvette instead. So I'm like, fuck, dude. Do I really want to do this? So I've been really battling with myself over like which ship to work towards. And then the Anaconda also I like because you know like the Python and the Asp Explorer, they have the Raider kit and I fucking love the Raider kit. I think it looks so cool. Like hands down, that's my favorite cosmetic that Frontier has right now. Because it just reminds me of the fucking Reavers from Firefly so much. So I'm like super torn. I'm like, oh man, do I use every ship that has the, the Raider kit, or do I like go for the ones that are, you know, generally considered to be the best performing ships, or do I go for the ones that I like cosmetically and like I like the Empire and all that shit? I'm like, ah, yeah, right. Oh man, the Corvette with a Raider kit would look so fucking good. I really hope that like Frontier kind of pushes out some more cosmetic options here in 2018. Especially the Raider kit. God damn, the Raider kit is so fucking cool. Alright, we're gonna see if we can do this. Oh, we're too close to planet surface. Alright.
Okay, fighter is going live. Fighter is live, awaiting orders.
Okay, so Hopeless, if you had to pick between Anaconda and the Cutter, which one would you pick? I know the Corvette's your favorite. Ah, shit, nope. I guess I can't. Damn. That would have been really cool to have the fighter as like air support. Alright, let's see here. Oh, am I too low? Probably.
Yes, Commander. Returning to docking bay now.
Oh, she mad at me because I went low again. Damn. It's sad to hear like so many people dog the cutter. Shit. All the regret. I'll see you later, crazy. I'll check that PM here in a little bit. I don't have Twitch chat open.
I'll take control from here, Commander.
Oh shit. Okay. Guess she was landing.
Fighter is home. Ready to leave, Commander.
All right. Oh, I made that way longer than it needed to be. My bad guys. Rip. It was for science though, you know? Oh shit. Beluga? Why the fuck is there a beluga? Huh. Am I near an actual port? Huh. Alright, well, that's cool. I did the same thing, Gary. I did the exact same thing. So, when Elite was in its early days, I don't remember if it was in beta still, or Kickstarter, or whatever it was, right? I had already pledged to Star Citizen, so for one, like, there was the whole, like, oh, there can be only one mentality going on, right? I was totally guilty of that. Oh, this one's got turrets. And then the other thing was, like, all the ships that I saw, whenever, like, people showed, like, pictures of Elite, they were all the, like, really ugly wedges, like the Sidewinder, the Cobra, to an extent the Asp. They were just ugly looking ships, right? And I was like, I don't want to fucking play that. So that was a big part of why I've never pledged to Star Citizen, Elite, was because of like the way the ships looked. And I really regret it now. In hindsight, I'm like, oh fuck me, I should have fucking. I should have gave Elite a chance because it's honestly like it's like a it's like playing Star Citizen with like the mechanics that we were promised already in game, right? Like it doesn't have the same, you know, immersion factor in terms of like, oh, you can't get up out of your ship or whatever, and you know, that does suck. And it's something that a part of me wishes Elite had, but at the same time, if I had to choose between like getting up and being able to walk around or having a functioning, stable game, I would much rather pick Elite, right? I totally agree, Lars. I really didn't like the Asp at first, and then after a while, I was like, "Fuck, man, it's just such a good ship." Like, it's kind of like the Ugly Duckling, but like, god damn it, it is such a good fucking ship. It's so hard to like hate the Asp after playing with it for a while. By no means is it like, you know, a favorite of mine in terms of like cosmetic, but it's just such a good ship in terms of function. Man, you're really breaking my heart, Omega. See, and that's usually kind of like what everybody says. And I think
Are
that's
you ready to leave?
probably also a big reason why like I don't see a lot of people flying them, right? Like you don't. I feel like I never really see people in cutters whenever I'm in open play. Like I see anacondas pretty frequently. I'll see corvettes here and there, but like I'd never really see a cutter that I can think of. Transactions, we're all done there, so away we go. And also, to be fair to the Asp, I think it does look incredible with the Raider kit. that completely changed the way that I see the Asp Explorer. I was like, oh, okay, I would totally rock this ship now. Never mind, we're good. Oh shit. You don't use the Corvette anymore, Mike? See, that's what I'm worried about, Omega, right? Is that I'll go through all the shit to get the cutter, and then if like I don't like it, because like there seems to be some people who are like, I love the fucking cutter. Don't listen. I know everybody says it's not, you know, it's not good compared to the Anaconda or the Corvette, but the cutter's incredible. Like there's a couple people who have told me like they use it all the time. They really do, really enjoy the ship, and I'm like, uh. And then you know, everybody else is like, it handles like a fucking nightmare, and it's just not worth it. And I'm like, oh god, what if I spend all this time grinding up to unlock the cutter? I get it, and I'm like, ugh, I don't like this. and then I have to do it all over again to get to the Corvette, right? So I'm like, fuck, dude. Do I listen to like the majority of people who are like, oh man, the Cutter's not fun, or do I listen to the people who are like, it's incredible, I love this ship, give it a chance? And I'm just kind of like torn in the middle. That makes sense, Mike. I totally see that. Um, like I fucking absolutely love flying the Eagle. I just wish that it had a couple more slots for its internals.
Approach at a safe speed and comply with station regulations.
See, Mike, and that's kind of like that's where I'm at. Where like I'm worried about like, am I gonna be one of those people who like picks up the Cutter and it feels great to me, or is it gonna be, like Hopeless Omega, for instance? Like he said, it was like night and day for him when he got the Corvette, right? After the Anaconda, he was like, "Oh man, the Corvette just fucking raffle stomps everything. I really love the Corvette." And I'm like, "Nice." Um, and then there are other people who are like, "Oh man, the Anaconda's great. I love the Anaconda. Like, why would I get anything else?" And I'm like, "Fuck, dude. There's so many different opinions out there." So I'm like, do I go with like, "Oh, I really want the Imperial ships because for one, I think they look incredible. I love the Guatemala design style is just fucking incredible." Um, or do I go with like the ones that like statistically people say are better, or the ones that like people say like, "Oh man, I really love flying this or that." It's a struggle. It's a struggle, and it doesn't help that I'm fucking super indecisive. I'm fucking terrible at making up my mind on something. Um, Yeah, Lars, what you're saying, absolutely, and that's one of my biggest disappointments with the Clipper, is the fact that they consider it a large pad ship. I think fucking sucks. Yep, back that ass up. Like that really breaks my heart that the Clipper falls under like large pad. So then you're like, well, cool.
Touchdown confirmed. Execute system shutdown. Thank
You
you
know,
for
you
your
can't you
cooperation,
can't go to
Commander.
certain outposts and what do you call it? Certain landing pads, right? Like if they can't accommodate a large landing pad, then you can't go there. Oh man. See, that's no fun. I'm sorry, Hopeless. I hope you get to a point where you want to play it again. I mean, that's kind of how I felt after grinding for the Clipper because I did it like nonstop. I was like, I want the Clipper, I want that sexy Imperial ship, and I went really ham on it. I mean, like when I finally unlocked the Clipper, it was at the tail end of an 11-hour straight stream, right? So like that was the level of like every time I sat down for a long fucking time, and I was just grinding that shit. Um, and I can only imagine like grinding out the Cutter and the Corvette. I would probably be exhausted for sure. I think absolutely, Alex. That's the way to do it. Um, Cause you kind of get like to a point where you're like, oh fuck. Like once you finally get it, you're like, all right, well I'm taking a break now because I'm burnt. And I mean, fortunately for me, I'm kind of in a point where I'm like, well, I have nothing else to play now because I feel burnt on Star Citizen. I never want to fucking think about going back there again. So I'm like, okay, well, fuck it. I'm kind of like forced to come back to what do you call it, to Elite at this point. In terms of like, if I get burnt out, I'm gonna take a break and then be like, well, I have nothing else worth playing. Back to Elite. So I'm not too worried about getting burnt out in that sense. I absolutely love the Courier, Mike. Yeah, for sure. I think it's like one of the fucking funnest small ships. It's definitely one of my favorites, personally. Ah, so close. So close. Alright, let's refresh that board. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Alex, when I don't focus on doing specific tasks, and I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna go out and just do the missions that seem fun to me, do whatever's fun to me, and not worry about it. I honestly enjoy it a lot. And I love it too because like a lot of the mission types that I usually gravitate towards and enjoy doing are usually ones where I can multitask and like do other things. So like if I want to watch a show while playing Elite, I can usually get away with it doing certain, mission types. Um, yeah, Mike, like a demo for Elite. Man, that's what I miss the most from the gaming industry is, back in the day, like everything had a demo and you could try it first and see if you liked it before you bought in. I think it's such a bummer that like the industry kind of went away from that. These are all the same. Because that was a big factor for me. I mean, I get why the industry would want to move away from it because, for me personally, right? Like if I tried a game and I didn't like it, I wasn't gonna fucking buy it. And you know, back when demos were standard, that saved me a ton of fucking money. And nowadays, you know, it's kind of like the industry thing to put out like shit games. So, obviously if people demo it and they're like, "Oh, look at this shit game. I'm not going to buy it." They're only hurting themselves, but fuck man, I really miss demos. Yeah, for sure, Hopeless. Um, have you done a bunch of the like the Thargoid and the Guardian stuff? It's super fucking interesting to me. I'm really like I get stoked about player driven stories and stuff like that. And I know that like the Thargoid encounters aren't entirely player driven, but in a sense they kind of are. So like and like it's an unfolding plot line, right? Like that's the kind of shit that I fucking love in games. God damn it, please refresh board. Yeah, I wonder if there's a demo through Steam actually. Let's see. Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to fucking get a Rift. That's gonna be so much fun playing Elite with VR. I can't fucking wait. Let's see, Elite Dangerous on Steam. Store page. Yeah, I'm beyond excited, honestly. I waited a long time to like pull the trigger on getting VR, and I feel like Elite is just such a fucking good game for VR, especially like my kind of VR, right? Like I don't want to do VR games where I'm like moving around and shit. I just want like the visual immersion, right? Um, that's like the biggest thing for me, and I think Elite is literally perfect for that. Like I want next level track IR, right? Like when track IR first came out and it was like fucking groundbreaking and it, being able to move my head around, especially like flying helicopter sims a lot, was like fucking night and day. Holy shit, it was huge. So that's kind of like what I'm hoping for out of VR, only like being able to fucking see and fucking move my head around, like, oh, perfect. It's everything I wanted. Yeah, I'm interested to see how my stomach holds up to it. I feel like I usually do pretty well with like that kind of stuff, but we'll see. It'll be really hot if I end up like puking my fucking brains out on stream, so that'll be a good time. Let's finish up some of these chains. God, I fucking hate seeing these. I just want to default like turn them down option. Oh shit, Mike. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Oh, you're the best. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm all over it. Let me tell you. As soon as I'm gonna be ordering a bunch of Christmas stuff off of Amazon for the kids here tomorrow or tonight, and the Rift is gonna be kind of like my present to myself, and sort of my like, okay, I'm cutting the cord from Star Citizen. I'm not putting any more money into that. Let's fucking get a Rift and be like, all right, I'm good. Oh, really? No? Is it like really? Um, does it give you like super bad vertigo, Alex, or do you just get lost out there? Thank you again, Mike. I really appreciate it.
Landing coupler disengaged. Expedite climb to exit altitude.
Actually, since you have the Vive, right? Can you use like the hand remotes for controlling the ships also, or I've never like messed with any of that shit. So I'm completely like clueless as to like how integrated the VR is for Elite.
We're headed
Okay.
to Imperial Flight Operations Bureau. Signing off.
Yeah, voice attack is hands down. It just makes everything so much easier. For sure. Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch over. Uh, especially now that I know I'm not going back to Star Citizen. I've been kind of like that was my excuse for not having to like bind up the joystick. I was like, oh, I don't want to have to deal with like setting binds in Star Citizen and then setting binds in Elite. Um, and now that I'm like, you know, pulled out of the fucking matrix that is CIG backing, I'm like, well, you know what? I might as well set up the joystick finally. Okay. It'd be really cool if they ever got to a point where like you could do it reliably with motion controls or something, but makes sense. I was just curious. I have the Thrustmaster T16000s. Because originally what I was doing was flying joystick and mouse for Star Citizen. So I may end up buying a HOTAS again. I have an old SciTech one, but it's in rough shape. Uh, I don't know if it would even be worth pulling out at this point. That thing is ancient. Exactly, Alex. And that's the problem, right? Like, it's the denial level, right? It's never going to get better if everybody just keeps pretending that everything is okay, that CIG doesn't need to be accountable on any level. Like, it's just cool. And it sucks because I absolutely wanted Star Citizen to happen. I backed the hell out of that game. I defended the hell out of it. Like, God, I wanted it. And, man, it just sucks because the community is hurting the development. Honestly, the way they act, they're hurting the development by not having any level of accountability for Star Citizen. Exactly, Alex. Absolutely. Oh shit. Yeah, I'll have to look around and try some different games once I have VR. You know, the one I really wanted to try with VR. I don't know if it's actually integrated VR, but nonetheless, I really wanted to try it with a VR. Subnautica, god damn it, Alex, you beat me to it. That was literally what I was gonna say. I want to try Subnautica so fucking bad with a VR headset. I would fucking lose my shit in that game. Oh my god. I'm like really, really stoked to try that. I don't know if it's integrated or just if you can like just use the Rift, but oh my god. Like every time I see somebody playing Subnautica, I'm like, fuck man, that game would be just scary as fuck and also beautiful with VR. Um, god damn, I want to try that. Nice, Nunya. How are you liking it? I haven't bought it yet, right? Because I was waiting forever. Um, because I have Ark Survival Evolved, and I was like, okay, well, Ark kind of has like an underwater element. I don't see a point in getting Subnautica unless I have a VR headset, because then it's like actually like a next level of immersion. Whereas like the whole just underwater game, I could kind of do some of that with Ark. Yeah, the Warthog was. I thought about getting a Warthog. So my issue with the Warthogs and like the expensive Thrustmaster, or wait, is it Thrustmaster or CH? Thrustmaster. Um, I had the model before the Warthog, the one that was modeled after the F-16, and it fucking broke. And I was so mad because I had spent like fucking what, like $300, $400 on that HOTAS, and it fucking broke. And I was just like, oh my god. I was so mad when that happened. And from that point on, I was like, okay, I'm never shelling out big money on a HOTAS again. Exactly, Alex. Like that's what I want, right? And when Ark was early on in its development, I kept hoping that like they were going to further develop the water game, and they just never did. It broke it broke my heart, right? Because I really loved the water game. Even like back when it was early stages of Ark, I love that you had to go in the water in early Ark because you had to go for the oil and the pearls, right? And then they caved to people who were like, "Oh, I don't like the water," so then they put like those resources were available outside of the water, and you did like really now in Ark, there's no reason you have to go in the water outside of Black Pearls, which, yeah, like you know, it's an end game resource. At that point, it's like, oh fuck it, I guess. Um, oh shit, is War Thunder with VR? Oh, that would be fucking fun. I need to get back into War Thunder really bad. Um, Somebody kind of mentioned that on a what do you call it, on a YouTube comment last night, and I was like, you know what? That is dead on. Like War Thunder is my game where I get fucking shit faced and I can just play the shit out of like some ground battles because holy shit, War Thunder is so much fun drunk.
Please maintain current vector, Commander. Access is now granted. Proceed at your earliest convenience.
I have a blast with War Thunder, especially ground battles. Um, I never got really good with the air. Every time I like started getting competent, I would end up taking a break, and then I would come back and be like, "Oh shit, I suck again." I love it, dude. And War Thunder's like one of those weird things where like I'll get really smashed and play Soviet, right? And the more I get drunk, the better I do. I think I'm like getting in touch with like my inner uh, Stalin driver, and I just progressively do better and better. I'm like, yeah. Oh man, War Thunder's a blast.
System confirmed. Commencing offload. Welcome to the facility, Commander.
Right? Oh man. That see, and that was a big part of why I stopped playing War Thunder was because my brother and I started playing it together when I first got into War Thunder. And I progressed to a point where I wanted to play realistic battles only. Like arcade I just didn't enjoy anymore. And he just never got into a point where he was like, "Oh, I want to play realistic battle." So ground or air, he just wanted nothing to do with RB. And like for me when I playing arcade felt like being tortured. So then we just didn't ever want to play together. And then like playing it by yourself, it's still fun. It's still a fun game if you're not playing with somebody you know, but it's so much fun when you play it with other people. Let's see here. I just can't get into World of Tanks. So like I used to play World of Tanks a lot, and I ended up playing War Thunder, and I just fell in love with like their style of tank combat. I don't know what it is. I just really like tank combat in War Thunder in comparison to World of Tanks. And then the like having it integrated too. I don't know if World of Tanks ever got to that point with World of Warplanes or whatever. But having air and ground, so nice. I'm looking at a Rift, Lars. I think is what I'm gonna end up getting. The Vive is just kind of like more money than I want to spend, I think. And I mean, if I ended up like absolutely loving VR and using it enough, I would consider like maybe getting a Vive later on, and then my kids would be all over getting a Rift hand me down. So it's it seems like the safer bet for me to go with the Rift first, and then jump into a Vive later on if I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta have a Vive. Exactly, Nuno. Like that was a big part of why I didn't like World of Tanks is because it felt RNG, right? Like I hated when I could shoot a tank and it hit at one spot and it would do like X damage, and then I'd shoot again and the same shot would do Y damage, and I'm like, cool. I guess I'm gonna fucking die from that. Oh, that and artillery tanks. Fucking god, I hated indirect tanks in World of Tanks. That's the way I'm looking at it, Jack Wu. Is for me, I'm just gonna go with the Rift because it seems like I know it's like cheaper than the Vive, so like whatever. Like I don't know if the quality's better on the Vive, maybe it is, but I don't know how often I'll use VR yet, so I don't want to go automatically for the most expensive VR headset. If I'm like blown away by the VR experience and I'm like, oh my god, I want to see what this is like on a Vive, then like maybe down the line. Oh, I thought I picked up more planetary scans than that. Oh shit, Kata, thank you so much, man. I'm going to pretend that it doesn't say 5 for the hooker, but I will definitely acknowledge the 5 for the Rift. Oh, nice solar panels, dude. Good on you. Thank you again, K-Dub, so much. You're the best. Nice, Alex. And that was like my biggest thing is comfort, right? And unfortunately, I had heard that the PSVR is the most comfortable out of the three available. Uh, so I was like, oh shit. But because that's what I'm worried about. Because when I sit down to play a game, usually I'm sitting down for like at least 4 or 5 hours, and it's like, oh, I want something that's not gonna feel like death after a little while. Well, then that sells me on the Rift then for sure. Because that's my primary concern is like comfort wise. Flamelina. I'll definitely read up on it. I know my oldest has been really hounding me about getting the PSVR. So, but the thing is, like, I'm not getting them VR until they take care of their shit, right? Like, they all have like Turtle Beach headphones, and I find them on the floor, and like the cat's like chewing on them, and just all sorts of crap all the time. And I'm like, dude, I'm not buying you guys expensive, good, like gaming tech if you can't take care of like what you have. Like that's you guys are crazy. Let's see here. So I'm not in any hurry to pick them up VR because I'm definitely not going to shell out $400 on something that they'll leave laying around and somebody will step on or break it or whatever.
Uncoupling sequence complete. You may leave when ready.
Do they though? I think they changed it up. The last time I was looking at yeah, what Alex just said. They changed it up. They lowered the price of the Rift and they lowered the price of the Rift and they packaged it with the Touch, so that now it's like $399 for the Rift and the Touch. Jack, nice. I mean that's the real reason, obviously, that I'm looking forward to VR is for the 3D porn. I mean, I would be a terrible fucking liar if I said I wasn't gonna try that, obviously. Damn, that's some fucking flying right there. That was a big part of why I decided to go with the Rift, Alex, was because they had lowered the price and like threw the Touch in with it. Um, I don't know if I'll ever use the, what do you call it, the Touch, but the fact that they lowered the price down, because I was gonna go with the PSVR and use it for the computer, because I know you can like rig it to where the PSVR works on PC also. And I was like, okay, well, it's cheaper by quite a bit than the other two. I'll go with that. And God. All right, just hold on. Let me save all of these VR links. But yeah, like I didn't think that like I was really gonna use VR controllers. So at first I wasn't concerned about it. But then like they brought the price down so much and included the controllers. I was like, well, shit. Oh shit. Andrea's shooting. Shots fired, Nunya. You gonna take that? Oh yeah, for sure, Rakasha. Like when we get that kind of gaming, I don't think I'll ever leave my house again. Yeah, I'm a little bit ashamed of that video. I'm gonna wait, Andrea, until I get the new mic in, hopefully Monday or Tuesday, and I'm gonna redo that video in a slightly more professional level. I was just so mad and so disappointed with 3.0 that like I just went full tilt. Um, so if nothing else, like the criticisms will still be the same, but the sound quality should be drastically better. It's definitely my concern, Rukasha, um, is like the comfort level because I might have said it before you joined, but like usually when I sit down to play a game, I'm sitting down for at least 4 hours, sometimes more than that, right? Depending like if it's the weekend and I don't have anything else going on, like there'll be times where I sit down and I'm like 10 hours straight. Um, so like obviously comfort is a huge deal for me. So we'll see. Um, I mean, my girlfriend, her brother has a Rift, and they've offered multiple times to let me try it, but I really don't want to. I want to wait and just have that experience myself, like on my own games and like in my own like setup. Oh, this one's way out there. Speed up. Yeah, the jacuzzi. Yep. Yeah, the jacuzzi and the Phoenix has been a hot button topic indeed. Oh man, some of the criticisms for it I've seen are pretty crazy. Like people are like, "Oh, this is just gonna turn into like erotic role play bullshit, blah blah blah. I don't need this in my ship. I just want a luxury ship, etc. etc." And I'm like, it's totally gonna get used for ERP. Absolutely. It's gonna be. I mean, if Star Citizen gets out, it's gonna turn into a to Second Life for sure. It's going to be like a high fidelity Second Life. Now, is the Rift plugged in or is it off of a battery? I've never actually looked into that one. Like, does it have its own power source or is it running off a battery? Yeah, right, Alex. You got to pay $5 for the water tub, for the water in the hot tub, and then you have to pay $15 subscription fee to have somebody who comes by and like cleans and sanitizes the hot tub also. So if you don't, then your hot tub will turn into a gunky green, and then nobody will want to get naked in your hot tub. Okay, cool. That was one thing I was kind of worried about was whether or not I would have to deal with charging batteries. I'm definitely really excited. Like I can't wait to be like just able to appreciate Elite's atmosphere with fucking VR. It's gonna be insane. Yeah, absolutely. If you didn't get the pre-ordered health insurance pack that they sold, the Concept LTI health insurance premium, then yeah, you're gonna have to pay IRL money for the hospital visit for your character. It's gonna be rough. See, and this is the shit that like I don't get is people are defending CIG and it's like, dude, if you let them do land sales, you are opening the door for fucking anything. And it will get to a point where they'll make up mechanics that incentivize you to fucking buy with real money. If you think that won't happen, just look at every other fucking company in the gaming industry. It will fucking happen. Wake up. But people are like, oh, I see no problem with this. You know, it's funding the game. And it's like, oh my god. All right. Okay. I do too, Nomad. I remember when fucking people thought No Man's Sky's failure was a win for Star Citizen, so much so that Chris Roberts made like a sly comment about No Man's Sky in the 2016 Gamescom demo. You'll notice when they're showing, I think it was Glenn and the freelancer outside of the elevator and at Levski Station, right? And he looks outside. God damn it, I wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna loop. He looks outside, right? And he's like, "Oh, as you can see, this is a real multiplayer game." Blah blah blah. Like he legit fucking went for the throat at No Man's Sky because it was literally like right when the No Man's Sky controversy was like full pitch. And I'm like, yeah, fuck No Man's Sky. Star Citizen's gonna deliver. And then we waited a year later and got a fucking buggy mess of what they showed us in 2016. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, it's crazy to me, Nunya. I can't believe it, honestly. I mean, you know, I'm interested to see. I think it's Infinity Battlescape looks pretty decent as an alternative to Star Citizen, if not Elite, right? Dual Universe is interesting, but I don't know if I would. I don't know how I would handle a voxel type game. It still looks really cool though. Um, at this point, like I have no faith in CIG as a company, so I can't bring myself to back that game anymore. I'm glad that I cashed out. I'll put it that way. I think Jack that I read something that Elite's looking at like upping its video fidelity here in 2018, if I remember right. Yeah, exactly, Andrea. Right? Like saying then don't buy it. Look how that worked out for the loot boxes in gaming. That was the defense everybody used when they were fine with loot boxes, and now all of a sudden everybody's like, loot boxes are the fucking devil, and it's like, well then don't buy it, right, guys? Right? It's not like enabling loot boxes and allowing them to be in game is ever going to like persuade developers to put in mechanics that incentivize using loot boxes and making real money transactions. No, that'll never happen. And the thing is, Star Citizen is literally founded on that. The idea that they're not going to come up with mechanics that eventually force you to like make real money transactions is just insane to me. Yeah, I mean, same thing, Nomad. I'm fucking devastated, right? I'm fucking super bummed. You know, I mean, I've been following this thing since early 2013. Like, it, I looked at it as the game to end all games for me, right? Like, I could have seen myself playing Star Citizen as pitched for fucking years, right? Like, I still play fucking WoW for Christ's sake, and it's essentially been the same exact game for fucking what 12 years now, 15 years, however long WoW has been around. So I easily could have spent fucking over a decade playing Star Citizen and not much else, right? Um, and then just to see like what's happening with the project, I'm like, yeah, I'm out, dude. I have no faith in the company. The progress is not what it should be. I just can't do it. I completely agree, Alex. I'm So, like when I backed it, it was still essentially going to be a space sim, right? It was much less like a space life sim at the time, and I'm okay with some of the feature creep, right? Like some of them, like planetary landings was fucking great. I think that was a really good thing to increase the scope in. And I'd be okay with some of this other stuff too. But the problem is the way Chris Roberts goes about doing it. He should have fucking built a functional game first and then worried about doing shit like that, right? Boop, rotate. Are they like right on top of me? I mean, it's gonna seem like I'm, just plugging Elite, but honestly, like the way Frontier did it was dead on, right? Like they built out a fucking core game, and now anything they do in addition to the core game experience is just bonus, right? They have a stable playable game to build off of, and that's what Star Citizen should have done. Yeah, absolutely, Nomad, right? Like, and like, I love that like I get called out as being a Derek Smart, right? And like I've literally fucking argued with the dude. Like I've defended the game for fucking years, but now that I'm like saying, hey, 3.0 is fucking bullshit. We should have expected more, and we should have gotten more from CIG. I'm like now a heretic, as far as like Star Citizen backers are concerned. And I'm like, fine, if that's the level of the way you want it to play out, where like it can only be you're all in or you're all out, then I guess I'm all out. So be it. I'm cool with it. Scan it, motherfucker. Alright, cool. Yeah, absolutely, Flamulina. Absolutely, right? And that's the thing. That's why, like, if you don't like loot boxes, don't buy them didn't work, right? Because the people that do buy them, it shows the company, oh shit, man, there's a whole nother fucking market here we can exploit. I mean, shit, we're getting people to spend fucking, you know, upwards of 4 to, 50 times the fucking price they spent on our game. Like, we need to tap this fucking market, baby. And that becomes their focus, is trying to tap fucking, what do you call it, microtransactions. Or macro transactions, whatever. Yeah, absolutely, Flamulina. I think that's literally what you have to do with Star Citizen at
Are
this
you ready
point,
to leave?
is get a basic starter package, and then if they manage to make a game in the next 5 to 10 years, then you know check back then, right? It's not worth risking your money at this point. Like, there's no way in good faith I could like recommend people spend money on Star Citizen.
Frameshift drive charging.
No, I completely agree, Alex. And that's the thing is, the closer they get to a functional product, the more they're gonna have to answer for things. Yeah, I agree, Sammy. For sure. Like Elite definitely needs more substance for sure. Um, I think it's a very, very niche fucking game right now. Like for me, I don't mind doing like repetitive fucking missions, right? Um, I don't mind like going out and exploring and doing the same like exploration essentially over and over again. But most people want more than that, right? Sorry, my throat's like fucked up. I also agree with that as well, Jack. Multi crew in Elite Dangerous is absolutely a fucking joke. Yeah, multi crew in Elite Dangerous was a real letdown, especially since it's locked behind a fucking behind Horizons. It makes no sense. It's so shallow and pointless. I don't understand why multi crew is locked behind Horizons at all. Oh, I'm probably gonna blow past this one. I don't know if I caught that in time. Oh well. Win some, lose some. Yeah, Elite definitely has a lot of growing to do, I would say. Yeah, for sure, Lars. I think that's accurate, right? Like, uh, you know, I think like my first week playing, I was over 100 mil, just from grinding, doing exploration stuff, right? Like making money is super easy in Elite. Um, the grinding is super easy. It's more about like finding stuff that you enjoy doing in Elite and playing for the fun of it and not worrying about like if your sole focus is like making money in Elite, you can make a lot of money, but you're gonna be really fucking bored really quick. And I think that's one of the reasons that a lot of people get burnt out on Elite is because, like in typical MMOs and like games similar to it, like the objective is always like make mad money and, progress, right? Get to the end thing. So in Elite, naturally the end thing is the big ships and make money is self-explanatory. And you can do those very easily in Elite, but it's not fun. It's not enjoyable. And once you get there, you're still in the same seat you were when you had just a Sidewinder, right? Like there's no forced incentive in Elite. It's find something that you enjoy doing and just go do it. Um, yeah, and like Flemelina saying, like that's for me, that's my drive right now is the whole Thargoid story, right? Like I'm trying to get myself to a position where I feel comfortable going out and getting involved in the whole alien storyline. I really want to do that, Lars. I love that kind of shit, and I fucking love the Eagle. I was literally thinking about that the other day when I was flying the Eagle back to home base. I was like, man, I really want to just take the Eagle out and just go fly nap of Earth um, through some of these fucking planets. Yeah, absolutely, Alex. I completely agree with that. I think like that is Elite's problem. is it's very frequently looked at through the lens of like a typical game, and the gameplay in Elite is not based around being a typical game. It's not supposed to be go out, get money, get progression, right? Like it's if you focus on those things, you'll burn yourself out super fast. Yeah, I can't wait to fucking engineer up an Eagle, Lars. It's gonna be so good. Yeah, it does, Jack. It is a like kind of like a repetitive type gameplay. I know that they are updating planets and moons and all that stuff here pretty soon. In 2018, they're adding like Arctic planets, volcanic, I think, and a bunch of other stuff. So I mean, like, there's a lot coming up this year. Libtards, I'm not sure what all stuff has been added in the last year. Some of the more like veteran Elite players might know. I actually very recently started playing Elite. I think last month I just got into it, so I'm still very unfamiliar with like the whole history of Elite. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Xami. It would be really fun if like you had to like fly through an active volcano planet. Right? Even sandworm, right? It would be so cool if they had some kind of like sandworm for planets like this. Make sure you drive your rover without rhythm. Oh shit. This one's got air support. Oh man, this one's gonna be rough too because it's wide open. Ugh, this is gonna be fun. God, plus there's 3 above. Oh my god. Is it 3 pythons? It is. Fuck, 3 pythons and a clipper on the ground. Oh. Yeah, this one's gonna fucking hurt. Oh. Alright. Whew, here we go. Go ahead and stretch this one out. Ugh. Ow, crushed. Maybe this one won't be a trespass mission. Maybe, no, yep, it is. God damn it. Ugh. Go ahead and switch these around a little bit. Run away! Oh shit. Shots fired. Oh god. I just want to live! No, Jack, I'm not. It's single PC. Fuck you. God damn it. Oh shit, if I shoot him then I'm gonna get really fucked. God damn it. Yeah, absolutely, Xami, right? Like, it kind of drives me crazy that, like literally the smallest rock can just send your SRV just fucking flying. You'll never take me alive, pig. Right, tactical flee, go. Yeah, I absolutely agree, Lars. I think they need more variety for land vehicles, and they absolutely need more activities to do on land, for sure. Those are two things that I really hope to see being improved in 2018. Like, honestly, when I first got into Elite, I thought that there were more than one type of land vehicle, and not just the SRV. Okay, I think we're good, right? Oh shit, I don't have a fucking heatsink. Let's loop this back around. I have to try and blitz this shit. What could go wrong? Yeah. We're gonna pull it off. We're gonna pull it off. I believe. I totally believe in myself. That's all that matters. The shitty thing is that you know, it's not like a fucking mail slot port, so I can't just like bang for the door and get through. I don't know. I've never tried doing this before, so it should be funny. I'm fully expecting to get blown up. Oh, the bounty cleared. Never mind. We're good. Okay. I'm cool with that. And that's why you don't shoot at the police when you're running away. See, that was my mistake that I used to always make, is I would shoot back once they started doing that, and then I'd get like long flagged.
Access permitted. Set down on landing pad 17.
How do you mean, Nunya? Oh shit. No, fall back. Come on, slide, baby, slide. There we go. Oh, okay. My bad, Nunya. No, you're good. Yeah, Lars. See, and that's a perfect example. Like, I'm still very much new to Elite, right? So I don't fully understand the inner workings of every system. So, okay, Lars, is that like the go-to method? Is that how you're supposed to deal with planetary missions that are like that? Because that's just been how I've always done, like how I've figured out how to do it without getting my ship blown up, right? Is like essentially sacrificing the SRV. And every time I do it, I'm like, man, is this how they want you to do these missions? I get really confused. Because like really the only other alternative I can see is blowing up the ship that's parked there with you, excuse me, your ship before you start it. But then you get flagged hard for criminal, right? Because it's a fucking Usually it's like a police fucking ship that's there. Okay. Alright. It's weird, right? Like, it seems counterintuitive, but I guess, you know, whatever. I guess I'm cool with it if they're cool with it. Oh, is that the way that you're supposed to do it proper? Is like, I guess I could park my ship like right at the border, and then pop in, scan, immediately run for board ship, and try to get out before I get ganked. Um, I don't know how well it would work though with the keel back because it's so small. I think the Clipper would probably like mass interdict me, right? Oh, speaking of which, yeah, there we go. Ah, crap, I got shit in the cargo. Alright, let's switch back to our baby. My precious. Hey, Mr. May. It does, right? Star Citizen, Star Citizen's really improved a lot. Alright, let's see here. Oh, I should see if I have fines to pay really quick before we jump out of here. Yep. At least the bounty claims pay for the fines, so I guess it works out. Yeah, I think later tonight I'm gonna go ahead and go get some of these ships engineered. At least it should be a lot faster and a little more smoother now that I have the courier. Oh nice, I need to be looking out for my rank up mission too. Oh yeah! One down. Like 3 or 4 more to go. I'll be there in no time. See, now that I don't have a ship that can handle being interdicted, because this one is like literally naked, now I'll start getting interdicted again. You guys just wait and see. I'm calling it. The interdiction's gonna be real. God damn it. Oh man, Mountain Blade was such a fucking good game. It's so good. I really hope that the sequel lives up to the first game with like a little bit more modern touch. I loved Mountain Blade. And it was great too because I got a copy of it like literally right as I deployed to Iraq. So, and that game is just so like you can play it for so long, and the replay on it is also like through the roof. So, like I played that fucking thing for almost like 10 months straight. That game literally like saved my sanity. Oh shit, really, Lars? Huh. I mean, I usually just do the mini game to escape. That's a good approach. Especially like when you're in a small, like nimble ship too. Like usually if I'm not in a courier, I'm usually flying the Clipper, right? And that's like one of the nice things about the Clipper is like usually I get interdicted by like a Python or a Fer-de-Lance, or I think on a rare occasion I've been interdicted by what do you call it, a Corvette. And like you just fucking dump everything in the engine and just boost the hell out. Because there were a couple times where I was like, oh, I want to see what happens, and oh man, when I realized like what I'm getting interdicted by, I'm like, nope, 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 nope. I'm out. I'm good. Pass.
Landing safely completed. Please shut down all systems. Welcome to the facility, Commander.
I mean, sometimes I like fighting them too, like just to break it up, right? My problem is like whenever I'm in the Clipper, I feel like I'm always getting interdicted by ships that like really out tier me. And then I'm like, okay, well, I know I was gonna fight, but oh, that's a good point. I never thought of that. so you can system jump without getting like mass lock. Hey Syndrome, how's it going, man?
From the dock. Be careful to observe
Ooh,
restrictions when leaving the station.
antenna was very close.
Would you like me to clear the area and prepare for jump?
No. Yeah, I seem to have a knack for near misses in this game, and I usually don't catch them until like after like not intentionally avoiding them, right? Like I'll just realize afterwards, like I was almost like squashed by a fucking Type 9 or something like that. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good to know. And I can't wait to go to some of the like nicer looking galaxies or galaxies systems. That's something I need to do in the near future once I'm done either grinding this out or giving up and switching to an anaconda. I think if it wasn't for how scary taking an anaconda through the mail slot is, I would probably have settled and been like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going with an anaconda. But I'm really terrified of hooking the underbelly every time I have to leave station. Oh shit, I wasn't paying attention. God damn it. Like, I don't know how people get used to that. Really? Man. Like, once I saw, like, the actual underbelly of the anaconda, like, in a hangar, I was like, holy fuck. Like, I bought one time because I had enough in credits to pick one up. I didn't have enough to outfit it, but I had enough to buy one. Um, so I bought one, and I was like, I'm gonna try undocking this and just see what happens. And I totally snagged the underbelly. I was like, well, nope, not for me. I mean, I'll probably go back to it eventually and like give it another go. One thing I do like about the Corvette and the Anaconda is that it has a rear bridge. I fucking hate that about the Clipper, and I'm even more nervous about the Cutter, that they have like the bridge up front. I hate not being able to like see and know when I'm like clear. Yeah, right, exactly, Lars. Like, holy shit, man. Like, I would be so nervous to try fucking stealth running an anaconda through the mail slot. Holy crap. I mean, I guess it would be challenging, right? So there's that. Like, if everything else starts getting monotonous and feeling easy, there's always that. Yeah, that would be some top-notch piloting challenge right there. Is going full tilt through the fucking mail slot in an anaconda. Oh, ouch. Yeah, that was very nearly me, right? Like I snagged it, and you know, the station guy starts yelling at me, right? I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, like panicking. Uh, yeah, I was very nervous that I was gonna get it blown up. Oh, that's a good point. That's actually a really good point. The docking computer would be a really great way to like train yourself on like the placement. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I always forget about the docking computer because I've just never used it. Does it just like, as soon as you request for docking, it just automatically kicks in, or do you have to enable it with a button? Man, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was like the one nice thing about when I got into Elite. Um, you know, a lot of my viewers were like really vet players, and they just told me so many tips that helped out so much. Like learning on your own in this game is definitely a little brutal. Okay, I'll have to check it out. I had thought about like switching over to what do you call it? Falcon to Lacy line, and using like the Python because it can fucking land basically anywhere, and then the Anaconda for longer range stuff. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the one nice thing is like, okay, if I finish off the reputation for the Cutter, and I absolutely hate it, um, I can always switch over to the Anaconda without having to grind anything, and then if I walk away from the Cutter disappointed, I will take my very sweet fucking time working towards the Corvette and give that a go. Oh nice, this one isn't private. Yeah, that's a big reason why I'm not using the Anaconda now, at least, is I just don't have the money to outfit it, right? I don't have the money to properly put the parts into it. I don't have the ability to engineer it. Um, it would be it would just be a money sink for me right now to use the Anaconda. I can just barely afford the Python fully kitted. So I really that one's a matter of money, which I could go out and get money. I've just been kind of lazy about it. Um, I'm not super concerned with it.
Are you ready to leave?
I think I saw it. I mean, I saw it was at a discounted station, right? And the Fer de Lance was what do you call it? 48 mil at a discount station. Yeah, the nose on the courier is kind of funny. Let's see. Boop. It's definitely a weird looking ship. I still love it, but it's definitely weird looking. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. It's Control, Alt, and Spacebar. I think that's default. It's definitely a weird one for like, especially when you're used to Star Citizen, where it's like push F4, right? Um, but yeah, it's Control, Alt, and Spacebar. The thing you got to be careful though is once you go into third person, you're still like controlling your ship, and then I think it's numpad 0 detaches, and then you can move the camera around and do whatever. Oh shit, I got another one here. Cool. Alright, so save and exit, and reset it. That's that's one of the reasons I really like the Clipper, Jack Blue, is the Clipper like really reminds me of the 600i. I'll go ahead and use the Clipper in the next round. You'll see what I mean. Like it definitely, the styling really reminds me of the 600. Look back. Where's that search zone? Is it gone now? Oh, there it is. Take care, Lars. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I also appreciate all your elite wisdom you've chosen to impart on me. Man, Jack, yeah, like I actually yesterday, oddly enough, was checking my mail and I got the 600i brochure in the mail yesterday, and I was like, well, that's fucking heartbreaking. Oh man. That one super bummed me out. I was like, well, that's bittersweet. This will go on my desk display, and that's pretty much it. Every time I see it, it will remind me of my disappointment in both the concept and the game itself. Nope. Nope, it was not Nunya. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I ever really played it, Mountain Blade online, very much, Nunya. I think I did the Napoleonic Wars a couple times because that shit was so much fun. But I didn't play it a whole lot online because at the time, I'm trying to think of where I was living. I had really bad internet when I was playing Mountain Blade online, and it was just so frustrating that I was like, alright, I fucking quit. Yeah, fuck Ben Lesnick. I don't believe anything that dude says anymore. And even if they do improve the 600i, like I don't know. I would I would have to have like absolute faith restored in both CIG as a company and like the Star Citizen is gonna get back on track in any feasible form, and I just don't believe it. Like I don't even know what it would take for me to. It would take Chris Roberts leaving the project or stepping down. It would take CIG not coming out with practices and policies that are anti-consumer. Um, it would just take so much for me to want to put that kind of money back into the game for a 600i. I mean, like it's in my buybacks, but I just don't see me ever buying any of that stuff back. Like right now, I'm completely content to just hold on to the fucking what do you call it? Mustang Alpha starter package that I bought my brother forever ago. Like it's still, it says Legacy Alpha on it and everything. Um, and that's literally all I have into Star Citizen now, and I really don't see that changing. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what nickname I would have been using back then. Maybe I'm not sure. I don't think it was FailureToReport. Hmm. Yeah, exactly, Alex. Like, I don't see a point in having anything above a starter ship right now. Um, Honestly, in its current state, Akira, no. It's a mess. If you don't mind, like a really, really, really unstable game, um, then I mean, you could try it. It's just there's very little in Star Citizen right now, and what is there is very, very rough. Um, Even in 2.6, even in 3.0, it's just it needs a lot of work. And the issue is like it's fine if it needs a lot of work, but the problem was like they were showing us 3.0 last year, um, and saying like, oh yeah, we're just gonna delay it a little bit, and then a year later they dropped 3.0 on us, and it's fucking super shit quality. And it's like, okay, well, what the fuck were you doing for a year? Um, so I don't know. And like the company itself, I don't know. It's so much to get into. I feel like it's just easier to say no. If you're not already invested into Star Citizen, don't get invested into it. I mean, I think you can pick up a starter package over this like anniversary special or some shit for like $35 or something like that. And that is the most I would put into the game. And I would sit back and wait for them to actually deliver some semblance of a product and of a game before you consider putting anything else into it. Because, I mean, legit, like, CIG, they make their money preying on people. And, like, promising the world. Like, they promised the fucking world, dude. They promised so much to backers that, like, there's no way they're ever going to be able to deliver everything that they've
Are you
promised.
ready to
It's just
leave?
insane to think that they could. Yeah, Alex, I have an issue with like getting it to scan when I'm not in turret mode. I don't know why. So I always just go into turret mode. Like I'll hold down right button and have it targeted, and it's just like, nope. I'm like, come on, just scan, just do it. I don't know what it is. Yeah, absolutely, Andrea. Right? Like he gets more and more vague, or like he'll like walk around a question and like give a non-answer, or like do his little giggle and be like, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it's like okay, if one of the official mouthpieces for the company doesn't like know what the direction is or doesn't know what the answer to like simple questions are, then I'm gonna go ahead and keep my money in my wallet. And that's one of the big things too that like really bugs me is like so many of CIG stuff is like vague non-answers. And that's the other thing that like really worries me is like they have very very vague answers on like when people ask them about like core gameplay mechanics that are like still in development. And it's like you guys should have this shit ironed the fuck out where you can give hard answers and say yes, this is how we're going to do this. This is how we're doing that. And they don't. And that's really alarming, like especially this far into the fucking development. Ugh, I don't know. Yeah, Akira, like that's essentially like it's better to just wait at this point and see what happens, um, and go from there. X Hammy, I believe I am using the Eden voice pack. I'm pretty sure it's Eden. Yeah, I agree, Alex. Like, and that's the thing too is like Star Citizen isn't even trying to like revive the genre now. Now they're trying to do everything. They're trying to be an everything game. Like most games can't fucking manage. Like you get games that try to enter into like the shooter genre or the space sim genre or fucking the RPG genre, whatever, MMOs, and like most of them can't do their specific genre well. But Star Citizen is going to try to do fucking everything now. That makes me very worried that like they're going to end up doing nothing well. Versus like if they had stayed focused on the space sim genre, at least just to like get the game out the door, then maybe they would have done that very well. I really liked the flight model in Star Citizen for a long time, so I mean they had that going for them. But like to try to do everything and to have to balance every kind of game, I don't know, man. I just get the more and more like now that I've walked away from the game, the more and more I look back at it and like look at everything, the more and more like certain things concern me and like red flag here, red flag there type situation. Right. Like I feel like they're overextending themselves by a lot. Like how often is it a shooter comes along and like really blows up and like people say, "Wow, this is a really good shooter." How often does a new MMO come out and people are like, "Holy shit, this is a really good MMO." And CIG is like, "Hey, we're gonna do everything," and it's like, dude, come on, man. Like, you're either over promising so you can cash money, or you're very, very fucking confident or naive. And I don't know. I mean, like, I wish the project was doing well enough that I could like recommend even getting in on like a starter pack, right? For people, but I don't have any faith in it anymore. Like 3.0 I feel like really lifted the fucking curtain that was over my head, right? And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on over there? And I mean, like I'm sure that Elite has like their own things that like long-term players are like, "Oh, fucking Frontier" and stuff like that. Like I don't assume that Elite is like perfect by any means. Um, but they would have to really be putting in some effort to reach the levels of scumbaggery that I feel like CIG has achieved. See, and like the thing too, Alex, is like they were supposed to disclose their financials, right? If the project didn't release by a certain date, they were supposed to disclose their financials and like be open with funders and all this other shit, and they don't. They like remove that out of their terms of service. They don't talk about it at all. They're just like, "Oh yeah, we're building the game, guys. Keep spending money." Um, so there's like no way at all to hold them accountable to know like, okay, how much are they actually making? Like I don't trust the backer funding tracker at all. Like there's no way that like the amount of panic it would cause if like they reported a month where like they made like fucking almost nothing, right? Uh People would start refunding and pulling money out left and right. So there's no way I'm going to trust that like they would accurately report their financials. Um and the fact that like they pulled that section out of their terms of service to where they don't ever have to like be held accountable financially to the backers, just further like reinforces to me that like they have no intention of ever like, you know, opening up the hood and showing us what's underneath, right? So it's just like, man, I just don't trust anything from that company anymore. So like even the anniversary sale, right? Like they report how much they make in funding over the anniversary sale, and they have like a funding tracker where you can track by like the day, hour, week, whatever. And I sit there and I watch those and I'm like, are these even like legit? Or do they just fucking like put out what they want to put out? Like I feel crazy that like, you know, some of the stuff that I think and like look at CIG and like talk about now, I'm like, fuck man, I almost sound like conspiracy theorist levels of like out there. But then at the same time when I look at it now like objectively, not having any money into the game, not caring about like if it gets made or not anymore, I'm like, fuck. Some of the shit that like people are like, "Oh, you're a goon if you think this, you're a goon if you do that, whatever." I'm like, some of the questions that they ask are pretty actually sensible and probably shit that every backer should be asking. I don't know about that. If they did, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it seems like they did a lot of shady shit in like right after like the first like the 3 year mark or something like that, I think it was. Um there was a lot of like behind the doors switching around of like their terms of service, a lot of their policies and shit. Yeah, exactly, Double. Like that's been their whole fucking monetization model is like selling the fucking cart before you fucking have a horse to pull it. And it's like, dude, make a fucking game, CIG. Make a fucking game, and then you know if you want to monetize the shit out of it, and your player base is cool with that, then fucking go to town. But like, fuck, man, make a fucking game already. It's fucking time. And I feel like 3.0 shows that like they're nowhere near fucking reaching that point because like what we have in terms of 3.0 is literally what they showed us a year before they fucking released 3.0 to PTU. Like if that's the rate that they're fucking developing this game, then fuck me, man. I hope my kids get to see it. Like I have no faith in CIG anymore. In terms of like them as a company and their business practices and them being able to actually like release a game. So at this point, you know, I'm totally content to just watch the development and talk about it with friends and viewers and just see what happens. And I'm good. Absolutely, Jake. You shouldn't. You fucking damn well should not. Uh, because the more people give them money, the less incentive they have to actually release anything. And they've demonstrated that that's essentially what they need because they don't seem to be inclined to actually like get their shit together and put out a game at this rate. See, but the thing, Andrea, is like that's exactly what their target demographic wants, right? Like that's how you keep them hooked. You have to keep selling them like this elaborate dream that they can fantasize about and like, you know, imagine themselves playing and imagine themselves like being a part of like this super complex world that like lends to the fantasy, because that's how CIG makes their money, is, you know, selling a dream essentially. Like, it's very telling that like if you go into YouTube comments or on, you know, the subreddits or whatever,
Are you
and you
ready
see
to
people
leave?
talking about hold on, let me mute this voice attack for a sec. If you see like people talking about certain mechanics or certain like, you know, how they see all this other stuff working, right? Like, let's say ships. You'll see one person being like, "Oh man, I can't wait to like hire AI crew and have them crew up all my ships and like go out in a fleet and do this and that." And then you'll see somebody else like, "Oh, I can't wait to like, you know, have to get people together to like crew a ship and all this other stuff." Blah blah blah. There's so many conflicting like visions amongst the player base of how everything's going to work, because CIG makes broad promises that apply to everybody, and they don't clarify on them intentionally. They intentionally do not tell you like, "Oh, this is how this is going to work for sure," because it leaves it vague and open so that the fantasy appeals to fucking everybody. The fantasy appeals to as broad of an audience as you can get, and then that's more people to spend money and to fund them. Hey, Tomato. I'm doing pretty good. How you doing today? I mean, you get a lot of promise for $45, but like until they actually have a functional game, like you're paying for a dream, right? And like I get it, like it was my dream too for like the longest time, but like I want my dream to be a reality after a certain amount of time, and 3.0 was a very good indication that it's not even remotely close to being a reality. So like I'm just done waiting. I don't want to be a part of that anymore. And I understand people who do, right? Like the gaming industry is kind of looking a little bleak, but man, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna go out and encourage people to refund or anything like that. It's a personal decision, but I wouldn't recommend people to get into the game, especially because all the major sources that you're gonna get Star Citizen info on are fucking way too optimistic. Be it the subreddit, Spectrum, and the major YouTube channels are all fucking like, they always like downplay the bad and hype the good. Hype what could be, what's coming in the next patch. It's gonna be better. Just wait. Just wait a little bit longer, and everything's gonna be okay. And like after a while, you keep hearing that and hearing that and hearing that, and you're like, okay, when, Lord, when, fuck, when is it my turn, right? So I don't know. I mean, it sucks on one hand to be like a doubter now, after being like super pro Star Citizen for the longest time, but I just, fuck, man, I just don't see it anymore. Between Chris Roberts, between the way CIG acts, the fucking marketing team seems to be running that game more than the fucking developers. Um, just so much stuff. Yeah, I'm really excited to see the Squadron update, Jake. I think that's gonna be really fucking cool. I mean, you know, I will say that like Elite has a lot that they can improve on in terms of like their multiplayer, their planetary stuff, um, group group gameplay, shit like that. Like they're definitely there's room for them to grow for sure. Fucking noobifier, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, yeah, they're totally building the foundation. Uh, oh man, I don't know. Right, exactly, Alex. Like that's my issue. Yeah, I agree, Jake. Right, like that's the big thing is Elite has a long ways that it can go and grow up still, but at least there is a game there. Oh shit, I didn't scan. Right, like they're like, oh hey, here's face over IP, here's fucking, now we're gonna sell land shit. Like, you know, just the other fucking year, like 6 months ago, we were saying, oh yeah, player housing is something that, you know, we'll think about when the game's at release, right? And then out of nowhere, they're like, here's the Pioneer. It builds player bases, $750. Oh, but wait, there's more. Now you can buy land for $100 and $50. Yeah, sure. Our Planet Tech is like fucking in its infancy. We haven't even managed to make one complete system, much less the 100 that we need for fucking full release. But now you can buy land, and it's like, dude, come the fuck on. Like, oh man. I don't want anything to do with it anymore. And like I understand even a lot of my viewers, much less like people in general, still have faith in the project and still want to bank in it, and you know they're fine waiting, and that's cool. Like that's your own decision. I just hope you do the homework and like really look at it through a cynical lens. Like really fucking make sure that your money isn't going to be just, you know, thrown out. Oh, absolutely, Alex. Like people defending it are insane. They're like, oh no, you're not buying land. You're buying a slip that says you get to claim land. Like you're buying land. Unless you spent $100 for nothing, right? And you know that beacon doesn't do anything. You're buying land. Unless you're going to that land claim office with that fucking certificate or whatever the fuck, and you still have to fucking pay UEC on top of the $100 that you what bought for nothing. Like what? You're buying land. That's what it is. You're buying land. And like the other argument I see so many people saying is like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's not pay to win because, you know, there's going to be billions of kilometers of land. So, you know, it's not like somebody's going to go out and pick all the best spots. But then, you know, CIG is like, oh, well, this only works for UEE space. Well, okay, there's only going to be a limited number of UEE systems, which means there's only going to be a limited number of UEE planets, and those planets are only going to have a limited number of good fucking, you know, resource spots or good scenic areas or whatever. So yes, there is a limited number of like desirable spots within UEE space. So yeah, you're not selling an infinite, you know, equal for everybody item. Like it's very much pay to win. Those people now have the ability to go out, prospect, and instantly fucking claim that shit while you're still anybody who didn't pay money has to fucking earn the credits to be able to go do that first and then go back to the land claim and then, you know, whatever. Like it's pay to win. Like the thing is that really fucking irritates me with both CIG and the backers who are defending it is they're like trying to act like it isn't what it is, and it's very clearly fucking paying to win, buying land. Like it's why not just fucking be Be a big kid about it. Yes, we're fucking selling land. Like, why are you gotta fucking try to dance around the fucking vocabulary of it? You're selling land. Stop. If you think it's not a big deal, defend it for what it is, not pretend it's something else. But they don't. And obviously there's a fucking reason for that. I am getting ready to push out of Viscount syndrome whenever I get a promotion mission. I absolutely think that's coming to Pizza. Pre-built player bases or houses or something. I think that's going to be the next thing that they drop. If they do not sell that, if player houses or outposts or some shit doesn't come out, I will be very surprised.
Imperial sovereign territory. Approach at a safe speed and comply with station regulations.
Yeah, for sure, Syndrome. I mean, luckily that's one thing that's nice about Elite is like getting money is not that big of a difficulty.
Access permitted. Land on designated pad number 204.
Jack, how like okay, how is it not paying to win though? If okay, we start out right. Like I spend stupid money on video games, and let's say you're fucking Joe Backer, and you don't, right? Like you've got your $45 fucking starting package, whatever. I bought fucking land claims out the fucking ass. Day one starts. I get to go out and fucking drop my land claims on any fucking high rich spot that I fucking prospect. Boom, I'm good. I don't have to pay for credits. I don't have to pay credits to fucking claim land. I have the fucking land claim, and I'm good. Now I own that land. If you go on that land and you try to fucking prospect it, mine it, or anything like that, you're a criminal now. So I own that land. Like that's the whole fucking concept of those land claim beacons is I own it, it's mine. Anybody who goes on there is a criminal. Like, how is that not pay to win? I have a protected sphere of mineral rights, resources, land to build on, whatever. Like that's not a speculating thing. Like that's how it is, right? Like, and it's fine if they want to fucking sell that. I don't care, right? But be honest about it. Stop calling it not pay to win because it's literally paying to win. If I want to go out and spend $1,000 on land claims and fucking claim a ridiculous amount of space, I now own all of that. I can I'll go pick a couple different planets in a system that and look for specific like high resource areas. I claim that land, that's mine. Boom, it's done. I go turn it in. Got my land claim. It didn't cost me a single UEC because I bought it all with cash before the game was even fucking properly developed. It's done. I mean, like, and this is like, I don't even fully care because I am now very, very skeptic that they're ever going to even get that far in development where like that's actually a system. But like the idea behind it is absolutely pay to win. And especially because not only the backers, but CIG themselves have absolutely no idea how long it's going to take to earn fucking anything in this game. So, like, who knows? That land claim price might might take you 6 fucking months of grinding to fucking afford, right? Like, we have no fucking idea. I mean, sure, it might take you fucking 2 days, maybe, or less, whatever. But the point is, immediately upon logging in, I have those beacons those claim certificates or whatever, as soon as I find a spot, all I've got to do is turn it into the fucking land claim office and it's mine. You, on the other hand, have to earn the credits. I don't, because I spent money. Okay, I'm paying to have a huge advantage over you. I'm paying to not need the time to fucking get to something. Like you're being pedantic as fuck about the wording. If you're defending it as saying like, oh, it's not winning. Hey, Morbid T, how's it going, man? Or girl? Like, I own that land and you can't get on it. I mean, you can get on it, but your crime stat for it, and according to CIG, crime is going to matter and it's going to be a big deal, right? So, just getting flagged for coming onto my shit is supposedly a big deal according to Chris. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, the crime system in Star Citizen right now is a fucking joke, but according to CIG, one day crime is going to be a big deal, and you won't want to be a criminal. Well, I got an alarm. I'm good. We're good. Um, so like, it is a big deal, and the fact that like, especially a whale, right? Like somebody who spends a lot of money on this game has the potential to claim a lot of very high-end resource-rich areas right off the bat that anybody who doesn't spend money on these can't. And the thing I don't like is that, furthermore, they're like, oh, well, we're going to start developing mechanics like the UEE defending these people's land claims, right? So now, like, if I don't get a land claim in the UEE space, then I'm not covered by like the AI patrols or whatever. Like, I just feel like it's a slippery slope to where they're going to start developing mechanics just like loot boxes did with other games, where like they come up with mechanics to incentivize you to spend money. And I feel like selling dirt is absolutely opening the door for CIG to just jump right on in with everybody else, um, regardless of whether or not land claims are an advantage or not. Um, I don't know, man. I mean, at its core, Star Citizen is pay to win across every board. Like, you can buy credits so that you're constantly stacking up credits. You can buy ships. You can buy fucking different weapons. You can buy fucking different, what do you call it, missile loadouts or ordnance. You can buy fucking everything with real money. I really doubt it's ever going to go away. I know, like, people say, oh, well, Chris said it's going to go away once the game's released, which is fucking how long from now? So, in the meantime, in every PU iteration we have, the people who spent money are going to be at a huge advantage over those who haven't. And then once the game finally does come out, why would CIG just turn down that kind of revenue? CIG has gone back on so many other things that they've said they're going to do, and the community's actually like been totally supportive of them doing it. So like, do they suddenly expect CIG to show restraint in that regard? Like, the one that makes them money, they're not going to suddenly get rid of like transactions that earn them a shitload of money. So it's fine. Like, my issue is, if this is the path that Star Citizen is going, why not just fucking embrace it? Why not be like, yeah, we're selling land? Why the whole like, oh no, no, we're not selling land. Uh, don't buy this fucking 4 by 4 kilometer parcel of land claim beacon. Like, you're selling land. Just fucking call it what it is. That's my issue. Is like, why are you trying so hard to like pretend that it isn't what it is? There's so much effort being put out by CIG. I mean, like, on Spectrum, their fucking goalposts are like off the chain, going to town, trying to like tell people, oh no, it's not land, it's not land. And it's like, dude, how much effort are you wasting having your customer service on the fucking forums right now, trying to fucking like Fight wording. I guess I just don't see the point. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Tadija. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. And the land claim stuff makes it even worse, right? Because now you have people who are going to have land claim beacons. They're going to be able to get land immediately, and immediately they're probably going to want to do something with that land, right? And who is going to be available to do anything with that, right? Oh, Nunya. Okay, awesome. My bad. Sorry, Nunya. All right. So like, your example's perfect, right? I have a land claim. I don't own a pioneer. I fucking claim my land. I want to build an outpost on it, start mining it, whatever. I need somebody to build that outpost, right? That means I need somebody with a pioneer. Only the people who spent $750 with the pioneer are going to be able to take that contract, right? Be able to build the base for me. So right there, it's pay to win for the people that had the pioneer. It's pay to win for me because I got to claim the land before the people who didn't spend money to get a land claim beacon. It gives a huge head start for the people who, bought the pioneer because they get established as, hey, I will build outposts for you. I'm good. Blah blah blah. Um, so right off the bat, like it's all win for the people who spent money, and the people who are earning it in game are going to be left behind. Um, and it's crazy to me that people seem to think that that's not what's going to happen. Like it's just a snowball effect. Star Citizen has a huge snowball effect of like, well, you pay to win for this, and then it snowballs into like this and this and this, and it just gets more and more unbalanced as it goes. Oh, whoop, rip, duh. Honestly, like, I don't agree that early backers should have an advantage. Um, but CIG kind of like needs early backers to have an advantage because it's a huge fucking mind game to lure people into fucking being early backers and giving them more money. Like I want an advantage over the as a 2013 backer. I want an advantage over the people who are backing in 2014 and 15 and 16 and 17. I think that I should have an advantage over those people. Like it's such a fucking slippery slope to like endorse and like be okay with. I don't know, man. I mean, like you're totally entitled to your opinion, right, Jack? And like I'm not trying to shame you for it. I just don't agree with it at all. I think a lot of what CIG is doing and a lot of what they have been doing and the direction they're heading is just really concerning. Oh, so much cargo. So much cargo. And like, and that's the thing too. Like, I know a lot of people backed a long time ago, and a lot of people are like, "Hey, I'll just keep waiting. It's fine," and that's totally okay. Like, my only advice would be just fucking be super careful about enabling CIG and allowing them to get away with anything. Because, like, as much as I would love to see this game be made and have it be everything it was promised, I really feel like, oh, god damn it, there's my promotion and it's a strike contract. Fuck. I just feel like I'm gonna be making an "I told you so" video in the next couple of years, right? And that sucks. It sucks because, first and foremost, it sucks because this is people's hard-earned money, right? Like, I know some people like tell themselves, "Oh, it's fine, I'm cool with it. I wrote that money off, whatever." But like, it's bullshit. Like, if people end up getting scammed out of their money, then it's fucking horseshit. And I guarantee CIG will make sure that they have the legal fucking right to, deliver a shit product and be like, "Hey, well, this is it. We're good now. We feel we've adequately milked Star Citizen for all we can, and we're out." So like that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest reason why like I'm so fucking distrusting of CIG, because I feel like they're gonna fuck people out of their money, and a lot of people have put a lot of money into this game. So like first and foremost, like that's my biggest concern. I don't know, man. What am I gonna need for this dude? Alright, we'll check it out. Martini. So like the thing is, like, land absolutely does have value though. Like right off the bat, you're looking at resources, you're looking at whatever else they make it, because you can be sure they're going to develop futures or additional stuff that you can do with the land, outpost housing, whatever. But just in minerals, right? Like what he's talked about the most in terms of like since he's started going on about land claim, he's talking about like prospecting it and mining it and whatever. So right there, it has value. So, right from the get-go, the land is worth something. And, the fact that he's talking about like how, oh, well, certain planets might not have the same rich minerals as others, and, certain areas on a planet will have more metals or resources than others. So right off the bat, the people who find those and are able to claim those rich nodes of resources are, winning the race of Star Citizen life, because they're going to be able to make more money than other people right off the get go. They're going to be able to claim the better spots. They're going to be able to sell ores to people who want to craft shit at a higher premium because they have it first. I mean, look at any World of Warcraft expansion. Uh, except for the ones where they made mining like a universal thing. But older World of Warcraft expansions, every time a new expansion came out, the people who were controlling like skinning resources, mining resources, whatever, those people made fucking bank. I would fucking make enough gold off of like the first 2 weeks of a World of Warcraft expansion launch to pay for raiding for the rest of the life of that expansion and never have to go do dailies or anything like that to earn gold again.
traffic when leaving this facility. Thank you.
Are you ready to jump? Fine.
I mean, like, and that's the thing, right? Like, I'm not trying to talk people out of the money they put into the game. You know, if you...
Unable to comply.
Oh, God, didn't I shut her up? If you want to put money into Star Citizen, put money into Star Citizen, right? Like, you shouldn't... Like, just me saying, hey, Star Citizen's fucked, that shouldn't be the only thing that you use to decide, hey, you know, I don't want to be involved in the project, right? Like, do your fucking homework. Balance your fucking shit, right? The biggest thing is, like, the most noise and the most, like, you're gonna hear about Star Citizen is coming out of, like, big YouTube or Twitch streamers who are very, very close to CIG and Star Citizen. Balance that shit, right? Look for the dirt so that you can make an educated decision on Star Citizen. I don't have any desire to follow the project anymore. Like, I'll probably be involved with Star Citizen for like maybe a week or two more, just because of the whole anniversary sale and like them coming up with just shit that's so fucking ridiculous. Like, you can't not talk about it. I mean, fuck, major gaming news outlets are talking about it. Like, obviously, I'm gonna fucking talk about it. I was a backer for like 5 fucking years, but in the very near future, like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be Rose and let Jack slide down into the icy depths of the ocean, and Star Citizen's gonna fucking slip away out of my life because I just don't have any desire to be involved with it anymore. He needs one, Andrea, like, legit. I really wish that like somebody at CIG kept Chris in check, but it clearly doesn't seem to be like the case at all, and it's a shame. Yeah, Alex, I saw that one. Was it the dude who's like flying across the Vanguard in quantum travel? Yeah, I think Star Citizen's doing a lot of stuff where like they're claiming, hey, you know, we're doing this with tech, and then like people are starting to like get a hold of it and figure out that, oh no, they're cheating by doing this or they're doing that, whatever the case may be. Like, they have some workaround, like the whole planet's being mirrored. Um, just all sorts of shit. I think like one of the things I saw a bunch of like programmers like debating um, was the railgun footprint, right? Like, if you shoot a railgun into the ground, it makes a footprint right now. Fuck. And that's fine, whatever, bug. But the footprint is like huge, right? And one of the things that they were like theorizing was that in order to make the engine work and to like fit everything, they actually shrunk everything down, right? So that footprint is actually like at normal scale, but everything else is like shrunk down to like Star Citizen scale. Yeah, and like, and the thing too is like Chris has talked about like how like the industry fudges shit, right, to make it work, to make, because you know, like, if you're the player, you don't care how it works, right? You want it to work. And I think like they're making a lot of claims that are probably not entirely honest in terms of like what they're doing. Fidelity. That's right, Hostile. It's all about fidelity. That's all that matters. Well, at least I didn't have to loop it. I mean, I made that trip like way longer than it needed to be, but it's alright.
Gutamaya Foxtrot Alpha India. Please follow standard docking procedures by order of the Imperial Flight Operations Bureau. Access is now granted. Please head directly to docking bay, turn 5.
Oh, so okay, this is one of the things that I really wish Elite had, and it was like an actual queue for going in and out of the station.
Attention, Commander. Imperial protocols require that you reduce your speed.
Because this shit gets hairy as fuck in ships like the I almost said ships like the Fidelity. Ships like the Clipper, where they're just fucking huge, and like I can't even see, you know, because of like the struts or whatever. I have no idea like what my actual clearance is, right? So it's like really scary when you're coming in and out, and like an NPC ship is like, "Hey, I'm just gonna go ahead and squeeze right by you there," and you're like, "No, please no, please no, please no."
Landing safely completed. You may alight when ready. The services of this Imperial facility are at your disposal, Commander.
Ugh, the race is on. Can I get my rank up, or I have to go get kids? It's gonna be a close one. Come on, quick, quick, quick. Oh, no, that was the one I wanted. Boop. Sure, why not? Oh God, Alex. Yeah, that would definitely that would pucker my butthole pretty good. Yeah, the Cartoon Owl was such a fucking shit show. Alright, what do I got? Like 18 minutes left? Okay, we're good. I should have enough time. Yeah, like that's my biggest issue is like they're fucking selling the sausage like super hard, right? But they have yet to fucking like figure out like, okay, what kind of meat do we want to be in this sausage? How are we gonna make the sausage? You know, fucking everything else about the sausage other than that it's for sale is still kind of like to be determined, still in the works. And 6 years in, like I really expected more of that. Right. To Shambhala.
Station limits exceeded. Please take care on your journey.
No, I totally understand, Jack. Like, I get it. You know, like, I didn't pledge as deep as I did into Star Citizen because, like, I didn't understand the allure, right? Like, I totally understand wanting Star Citizen to pay off, right? I don't know, man. Yeah, I like, and that's the part that sucks, right, Alex? Is like, I wouldn't even care if there was gameplay to it, honestly. Like, just being able to walk around the ship and walk around outside of the ship on like some of the planets and stuff would be fucking. I would be happy with that. I don't even need a gameplay reason. Uh, but I understand that the problem is if they were to do that, so many people would say, "Oh, well, there's no gameplay here," and then they'd be like, "Well, fuck, our bad, guys. We thought you wanted space legs." So, you know, it sucks. I guess that's true, right? Can you walk around the like outside of your ship with VR, like on planets and stuff? Because that might be good enough for me, and then I literally won't care. Good enough for me then. I'm set. That's all I need. Like that's the biggest thing is like I just really want to be able to like get outside of the ship and then like take screenshots and stuff like that. Like that's my biggest like it bugs me that I have to use the SRV and like essentially drive it outside of the ship and then like move the camera around to where like the SRV is not in the shot and stuff like that, right? Um, but yeah, you know, it's no big like there's a lot of other features I would rather see. How am I wanted? Oh shit. There's a lot of other features I'd like to see from Elite before Space Legs. Like Space Legs would be cool, but I'm not super concerned with it. Oh god. I like never do these missions, so I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, Alex, like, I don't know. Like, I wanted to get shots, like, further back, I guess? Or maybe, oh, actually, you can detach, can't you? That's right. I didn't even think of that. Well, that's on me then. Yeah, that's totally my bad. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with Star Trek Online back in the day. There. Oh man, Secret World looked like it was gonna be so good when it was like first coming out. Oh god. There we go. Oh.
Awaiting further instructions.
The break.
distress signal.
Oops.
Distress signal.
Oh, we sent that one spinning. Holy shit. Aw, what? Alright, whatever. Oh my god. Apapoy, fuck yes. Please, give me a homeworld game. That would be so fucking... Oh, I'd be sold. I'd be out.
Picking up a distress signal.
Alright, now I gotta run back to Boundary as quickly as possible. So I can get my promotion. I actually haven't played that one. It was like a RTS, right, Alex? I think I remember seeing it. The last time I played a homeworld game was the Homeworld Remaster, which was so fucking cool. Oh my god, it was like all the memories and nostalgia just like pouring back in. Ugh. And that game's soundtrack was seriously like still, I feel like one of the best soundtracks I ever played, or ever played in a game. Nice. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to look into that one. Oh, is it? That's unfortunate. I think that was a big part of like the pull for Homeworld for me was that like it was just the campaign was so good. And then, you know, once you were done with the campaign, the multiplayer and the like skirmish mode or whatever it was called were equally like just so fucking replayable. Um, I spent so much time playing with that with my brother. It was crazy. It was just such a fucking incredible game. I really wish that franchise would blow up again. That would make me so happy. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Well, in that case, like, yeah, for sure. I'll definitely have to give it a look. I think the last strategy game I played was Gothic Fleet Armada. It's been a while. Yeah, absolutely, right? Like, especially on a desert, right? You'd think people would be much more brown complexion. Um, Dutch, the last time I played Gothic Fleet, it was still like the early access portion or whatever. Like, it hadn't gone live, so you were just playing as the guard or Imperials or whatever, which was a huge turnoff for me. Like, I have a really hard time playing any Warhammer franchise when I can't play as Chaos. Like that alone was why I didn't buy Dawn of War 3. I was like, oh, no Chaos, huh? No money from me. Cheers. Oh, I take that back. Total War. That was the last strategy game I played. Was Total War Warhammer. Yeah, I just like No Man's Sky. The interface feels super tedious, and I hate having to worry about like the inventory is just so fucking small. Like I spend more time playing with the inventory than what do you call it? Actually playing the game. No, no. I think I'm a corn guy, honestly. It'll always be blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. I just can't get into guys that are like, you know, covered in pus boils and shit like that, you know? It's a bit of a turn off. Yeah, it's definitely a lot better, like, towards endgame, when you have like a full inventory suit and your ship can hold quite a bit. It's not as bad, for sure. And, you know, the features they've added in the last year definitely redeems No Man's Sky a decent amount. I don't know if like I'm to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, this is totally the game I paid fucking $60 for, but it's definitely a lot better. Absolutely.
Approval granted. Set course for landing pad 09.
Um, my issue with No Man's Sky was Sean Murray fucking just misrepresenting the shit out of the game. If they had been honest and like face value, hey guys, this is the game that you're buying, I would have. I mean, I wouldn't have bought it, but I would have respected them and been like, "Hey, man, No Man's Sky's pretty cool." My problem is Sean Murray lied his fucking teeth out, and that dude should be in fucking jail. Um, but outside of that, like for sure, props to them as an indie studio for getting where they did. Oop! Give me that promotion.
Execute system shutdown. Have a pleasant visit, Commander.
Yeah, exactly, hostile. Like that's my problem is the way they represented their game, and like Sean Murray lied. Like there's so much fucking video of him like straight up lying about the game. Like, come on. All right, one more down. I wish. I couldn't even refund it hostile because I bought it for PlayStation instead of waiting for the PC release, and Sony wouldn't refund me. So, I mean, I straight got robbed. Alright, guys. I'm going to go ahead and pause the stream out for a little bit. I have to go pick up kids, but I will be back and continuing the Imperial Cutter grind in about an hour and a half. So, I will see you guys in roughly 4:30, 5 o'clock my time. Um, but let's say an hour, hour and a half, somewhere around there. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with me and keeping me company because, trying to straight fraction grind is not exactly the most exciting thing to do in Elite. So it definitely helps, and I appreciate everybody who is helping me maintain my sanity in this very long process to go. Um, so I will see you guys soon. Again, thank you so much for hanging out.